VPN at technophilespodcast.com. I'm David Geisler, and this is the Technophiles Podcast. All right, we are back. This is part 3 of episode 297. I'm here with Vee Laabs, Krista-Lee and Leslie Shaw, and that's it. We're here. We're back from the break.
Yeah.
Now, Vee, I think we're going to be talking about your story.
Yeah, we are.
I think.
Yeah. I'm going to confirm that thought.
I forgot over that amazing music break where I was telling everybody that they were listening to the Technophiles podcast.
Yeah.
It was captivating, to say the least.
Real snappy. Real good.
Leslie, thanks for hanging out with us tonight in place of Jake.
Thanks for being on, Jake.
A little Jake 2.0
right
thing right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What? Wait, you wish you were Jake right now?
Yeah.
Oh, because if you were Jake, you'd be hanging out with
Neil,
his buddy Neil. Yeah.
Mr.
On their
deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah. Dude, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Dr. Tyson saw Jake walk into that theater and was like, everybody else get out. We're having a bro date right now. And then they did. That's what's happening right now as we speak.
Excellent.
Is an excellent bro
Well,
date.
in part 1 of this episode, of course, we were talking a little bit, Krista-Lee, about
the Kepler data.
Yeah,
New
right. All the planets that we found.
The big bag
Part
of planets.
2, Leslie, we were chatting about seeing the world with your tongue. Isn't that right?
In a way.
That sounds like it could be.
Seeing the world with your tongue.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
The detour of the tongue.
And here we are in part 3, Vee Laabs.
Hello.
What are we talking about?
We are going to talk about using your skin as a touchpad or a touch screen.
I'm very excited
or
about this.
Something like that.
Situation.
Yeah. So this kind of concept has been thrown around a lot. There's been a lot of concept-y things where, you can project a screen on your wrist. Instead of smartwatches, we're just going to have little projectors on our wrists.
Right.
But we are kind of on our way to that already. But it's just going to be a way to adapt to the physical form of smartwatches, because watches are something that are just a fashion staple. A lot of people wear them. They look real nice. And smartwatches are just that other step up. But the problem with them is they are small. You can't have them be too big or else they start looking ugly and you don't want to wear them.
Can't be too big. Even Apple did the whole little dial thing to try to get your fingers off the screen. Because let's face it, if you touch your finger on a smartwatch, you are taking up 25% of the viewing area.
Yeah,
or
it's
more.
Ridiculous. Yeah,
right.
It
doesn't make sense.
I got some fat fingers.
It's really frustrating. Yeah, and so
got those potato hands.
Not a problem for me and my baby fingers.
Got those green bean hands.
Yeah,
I'm losing my mic here all night long. I'm losing my mic.
If you had Donald
gracious.
Trump hands, you'd be fine.
Oh, no. Oh, geez. No, I'm not going to stop looking at my hands now. But yeah, the screens are real small.
Right.
Some companies have their way of getting around it with knobs on the side, little dials, or they have a 3-button system.
Which is fine, whatever.
Which is fine, but it's still not the same as having a smartphone or a smart device on your watch. It's just way too small. But a company from... I'm going to remember the name of where they're from. Carnegie Mellon has worked with a team at Future Interfaces Group, has the technology to make your arm into a touch screen for your smartwatch. Your arm in your hand. So instead of touching the smart screen...
let's go even a step deeper.
Yeah.
Turning your skin into a touch screen.
And it's
How
pretty
far up can it go?
Pretty accurate. I don't know.
It looked like at least to the elbow, honestly.
Yeah.
That one icon.
I think as you get further away from we're kind of jumping ahead here and we'll come back, but I think as you get further away from where the watch is located,
it probably gets weaker.
You probably lose a little bit of resolution.
Yeah.
But they could go a few inches. Why don't you break this down, Vee?
I'll break it down.
Break it down in a really
how
cool
this
way.
works is that there's some AC wave detectors in the wristband of your watch and also on your finger worn as a ring. And so when you touch your skin, it creates an AC wave, and those waves ripple out and are detected by the sensors in your wristwatch. It's started by the ring and it's detected by the sensors in the wrist. And so it kind of biangulates it, not quite triangulates it, but it figures out the X and the Y using they've got the sensors in different directions and they've got different algorithms.
They kind of do
formulas.
triangulate, though, to be honest, because I think they have 2 different receivers.
Yeah.
Which does make a triangle.
You're right.
Your ring is the third point.
I see I thought triangulate. There's like three sensors, right?
Well, in all fairness, there is a point in, like, we all watched a video here over the break here to talk about this. You shared it with us, Vee, and they did say, like, with one sensor, we can get essentially one direction.
Yeah,
essentially you get a distance, right? You get a proximity piece of math.
Yeah.
And then they said, but if we had two, now we can get
the up and down.
A two-dimensional
Yeah, they
spectrum.
said specifically they had a one receiver for the x-axis and one for the y.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, you could say that, sure.
That's what they said.
That's what they said.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard.
So it uses that, and it can detect whether or not you're making contact.
An additional one to get the Y, but doesn't matter. Anyway.
Yeah. But it uses the ring to figure out if it's making contact or not with the skin by the way that the frequencies increase or decrease.
So you wear the smartwatch on your wrist, but you're also wearing a ring that's putting out a signal.
Yeah. Right now it's
the
pretty
opposite hand, so I guess the sensor can't go too far
it's not
across
strong
your
enough
body
to go.
because it's on your other hand.
Right, it's not going to go through your arms.
It would get more complicated the further you go up, I suppose. Like, I don't want to like be flexing and also looking at my watch at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think your sensors.
That's a little
like,
awkward.
I'm texting my brother right now. On my shoulder.
You jump into a swimming pool with both these, and it accidentally like triggers everything.
Yeah. Oh no, my apps are.
Oh shoot.
Oh geez.
But anyway, but honestly, this is really cool.
It's ridiculous. If you get the chance, look up Future Industries, whatever, Future Interfaces Group's video. They have like the mock-ups of where this could all go. Like for example,
what are some of the applications?
Some of the like they show that you can swipe up and down on your arm. You can swipe left and right to like activate like your apps or whatever.
And I noticed that many of the gestures are gestures that you would do on a smartphone anyway.
Yes.
The only difference is you can see what's happening on your smartphone now because your finger's not in the way.
Exactly. And it seems really just intuitive. Like we should be having this like as the smartwatch releases, but whatever. Like this is a really cool adaptation. They show somebody punching in a like keypad password or a telephone number by it like kind of projects it on your hand. It shows
there's
like
a hover mechanic.
There's a hover mechanic. Like so your the back of your hand is where the key buttons are. And so you hover and you poke and you type out the phone number you want to call.
But it doesn't actually project the image on your hand, though, right?
It doesn't.
No, you're right. So the amount of signal that's going from the ring in your one hand into your arm of the other hand, there must be, obviously, that signal must get stronger, and then once you touch, it hits 100% or whatever. So it can feel somewhere around 20,
like
30, 50% distance.
I think I'd be dialing the wrong number over and over.
Well, this is where that hover thing comes in really important. Because you hover, you get close, and they were showing
like a dot hovering over the keypad, and then you tap it once you're in the right area.
It's not too dissimilar from like one of these Wacom tablets where you have a pen, and you hover and you see your mouse move, but then you actually push down and click.
Exactly, and it's actually like exactly the same way it works, which is an XY grid of sensors or triangulation, I guess you could say.
The thing that's crazy is that they're putting it in our body, on our skin.
That's pretty wild. Like that's an excellent application of it. It's definitely going to be a boost to people who maybe didn't want to just futz around with a screen that they're going to just mash all over.
If they don't mind wearing a ring on their pointer finger, on their other hand.
It's ugly right now, but that can be fixed.
So I just want to say, because I've like just been waiting for you to say this about the icons. So you could so you could like pull up like I think they showed Facebook and Google Plus
or like Pinterest or whatever.
Pinterest, or I think that was one of them.
Yeah.
And so you could like start it on the screen and then pull it over to a place on your arm.
Yeah.
And you could essentially dock your apps by pulling them off your screen and
onto your arm. Yes.
Theoretically putting them on your arm, but you can't see them, of course. We need to point out.
So now you have to remember where it is.
Yeah.
So I feel like what I would do is I would only do it with two, because I would have one on the right side of my watch, one on the left side of my watch, and nothing else.
You'd be surprised. I don't know.
I forgot where that app went.
Yeah, I know.
As
All of
a
a sudden
male,
I'm opening everything.
I don't know. Maybe you girls know what I'm talking about, but like as a guy who like shaves his face, a lot of times you can kind of get that symmetry when you're shaving your neck or you're shaving your sideburns or you're shaving parts of your face.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much you remember where something touches something. And so what I'm saying is like, I actually do think it's pretty realistic that you could remember 3, 4, or 5 positions on your forearm where you save an
But
app.
for how long?
I think that's pretty reasonable.
I think
if you
I don't know, a couple days.
maybe if you have like
It's weird. Touch is like one of those senses that you really remember. You know what I mean?
I mean, maybe if you never moved them, like, so Facebook is always here and Pinterest is always here.
Like those are four
where your
mains.
moles are on your.
I mean, at a certain point, it's like
Point that
a
out.
violin. It's like how you just know where to touch the strings. You know what I mean? I'm serious about this.
And I'm serious too. But then I'm also saying that's why, unlike on a computer, where because you're looking at it, you might dock things differently. You might get bored and redock them. Mm-hmm. With the violin strings, the shaving, those aren't changing.
They're not changing, but the reason you need to look at a screen is because you're not getting, that's the only sense you're using to record where something is you're looking at something. Mm-hmm. If you're recording where something is by touching a part of your body, you can remember that. I do feel that that's true.
Yeah, but I would liken it to typing without looking at the keyboard. No, but again, because it's not changing, it's okay. Yeah, and maybe I'm wrong.
Well, no, you're absolutely right, because I think you're not remembering the feel of each key, but you are remembering that once your hands are in a position where they are oriented to what they know, they know where they need to move.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So like, as long as you don't put, as long as you're not rearranging your icons every day, I can see you easily after a while remembering.
So you're saying Facebook, you could remember something's halfway up my forearm, but you may not know which.
Ideally, your arm shouldn't be changing frequently. And if it does, you need to go to the hospital.
Or you're Mr. Fantastic. Congratulations.
I lost 2 of my apps. What happened? My arm got burned.
Oh, it's gone now. Oh. Yeah. No, I can see that easily being like rememberable. Like, I've got Facebook on this mole, and I've got.
But again, it wouldn't even be this mole because you're not even looking. I gotta say, like you're
looking. You're looking at your watch.
You're looking, but you don't even have to. The thing is, we're now recording with touch, not with sight. I'm serious about this.
No, I
you don't have to.
You're recording.
You could cue things and not even look anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that they're excited about, because you can silence a phone by writing an S on your hand.
Yeah.
You can answer things, or you can write things on your hand. And this is one of those situations where, like, let's say you're at a play or a concert or a ballet or something like that, where you really can't just be like whipping out your screen that's going to glow all over the place.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You can easily write an S on your hand and not even break eye contact with the thing you're engaging with.
This also makes me think that we could get into like the Palm Pilot era of like stylus writing again.
Well, I think we could, but what I'm trying to say here is what I'm so excited about this is that we don't have to look at it anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like kind of whipping a dead horse here, but like you can execute that S now. Instead of looking at your little watch screen or looking at your iPhone screen and writing the S, you can do it now without even looking. You can even do it under a tape. You can do it anywhere.
Actually, I wonder if it would be easier to, because with the Palm Pilot thing, let me back up. Like I never had one of those, but I had a couple of friends where, I mean, I gave up because I was trying to write the letter or whatever. It's not registering, right? But
I can never
I'm thinking it might actually work better on your skin, because
you can
think
feel
about
it.
it. Remember when you were a little kid, you used to write things out on like the back of your hand as a game. What did I spell?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
But you have the double sensory of you're feeling that you're writing it with your finger that's writing it and your hand because you're feeling it on there. I actually think it would be easier to do the alphabet on your hand than it would be with the stylus.
I mean, I've always felt that touch is a more easy. It's a more recorded memory than like sight or sense than sight. I'm not saying this correctly, but like
no, I agree with you.
The way they say like, if you smell something, you remember something. I feel like touch is the most.
My tongue's so bad right now.
Touch is the most integrated.
Yeah.
Leslie Shaw, would you agree or disagree with that?
If it's touching your tongue, maybe.
Yeah, the Palm Pilot.
Do the senses have a hierarchy?
Oh. Well, I mean, there are different areas that have higher senses. The tips of your finger, like the pads of your finger, are way more sensitive than the sides of your finger. So there's just a lot more nerve endings here.
I'm touching the
if you touch the sides of your finger, I
don't know. All I'm saying is like if someone put a blindfold on you, they said touch your elbow, touch your forearm, touch your knee, touch a little bit up above your knee. Like I think we could all do that immediately.
It reminds me of that game when you're kids and you'd feel up the arm and say, "Tell me where your elbow is."
Yeah.
No, people have terrible.
No, what are you talking about?
In some spots. Oh, yeah.
Wait, no, seriously, what are you talking about?
She knows what I'm talking about.
What are we talking about?
Some areas just don't have good sensation.
Yeah.
So if you were to close your eyes
areas.
and then tap up your arm and say, where's your elbow? Like you would guess maybe about here, and I'm several inches too low.
I wouldn't, but I'm ticklish right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just wait until I laughed and be like, there's my elbow.
Yeah, I guess that makes
Problem
sense since it's like a more high traffic area, just kind of like
Yeah,
there's not a lot going on there.
It's like different areas of your body have more nerves, and you're able to differentiate better in some areas than in others. So the pads of your fingers are excellent.
Where you receive a notification or something, instead of like a year ago, here we go. A year ago we were talking about smartwatches. This is going to be so great. Instead of getting a notification, having to pull the phone out in front of the person you're talking to while you're having a coffee with them, looking at it, saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, let me reply or not reply." A year ago, the talk was like, it'll just be on your watch. And you can just glance down and see if it's something you need to reply to or not. Well, now it could be something where maybe you glance down, but you don't even have to pull that thing up anymore. Under the table, to the side, even while your hands are on the table, you can just execute a swipe or a stroke.
Maybe you could just be sending messages under the table, just doing this.
Yeah, I suppose you could
just texting that way.
I personally think you probably could be. I think because we're not using sight anymore, this gets interesting fast for me personally.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop talking about that point, because the other thing that's exciting about that is that they have this ring that's like putting the signal out. Yeah,
well, I mean, that's like another cool accessory. Rings are already pretty commonly worn. I mean, you're wearing like a little like fidget ring right now. I assume that's a fidget ring where you...
What's a fidget ring?
Where you can spin it.
And this does not spin.
It doesn't spin?
Yeah, okay.
Well, you can spin rings, but they're fashionable, they're cool, and chunky rings like that are kind of neat. So that's integrating, like having that just be like a two-piece, like you can buy the special wrist strap.
They're going to have to make that ring really discreet, you know what I mean?
Yes. Right now it doesn't look too hot. It looks like
it is on the pointer finger.
Yeah, it looked like it had like a weird bar going across the top.
Yeah, like it's a sensor. It's like a copper thing. And then like whatever is keeping it from having direct contact from your skin.
Well, I believe this was proof of concept.
Yeah.
Is what we saw in the video. So, I mean, style-wise, no, I wouldn't wear that at all. But you run it through a couple really good designers.
Yeah.
And then you have marketable product.
Exactly.
But I mean, that's how it is. With proof of concept, people never make it pretty. Does this work? Yes, we have proof. Now you go make it pretty and marketable.
We have all these cool ideas and proof. Please, money, please.
Yeah.
Please, money, please.
Cool. So I mean, speaking of that, where's this company at right now? What's their trajectory, do you think?
Gosh, I actually have no idea. They didn't really talk a lot about where they're going with this. This is just kind of them showing off what they can do. I imagine like they're going to be reaching out to Apple or anybody who's willing to throw money at them to make life more amazing with smartwatches.
And I was thinking, Apple, they are good at design. Like if Apple picked this up,
they could fix that ring thing.
They could fix the ring. They could make that wrist strap look crazy cool
real quick.
Yeah. It needs polish.
Yeah,
but it is neat.
Oh my gosh, the ideas are amazing. I'm so jazzed about that. I love having your arm as the home screen. That blows my mind that it can remember that. And like you can just drag your apps over there, hunky dory, open up Twitter real quick, check everything on there, and not have to touch my screen.
You could
once.
program little shortcuts into where you touch your body and stuff.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'm serious.
Yeah, you like touch you could touch your pinky and open up a certain app or whatever.
Mapped it everything.
Yeah. I wonder if you could like have a keyboard, like a full keyboard on your arm or something.
Which is why I was like thinking there could be, or not even a keyboard. I would just write out.
Yeah.
Oh wait, let's do this before we get out of here. So Leslie, you brought something up before we started recording about you would prefer. So all the demos show the wrist, the watch being worn. I guess you could say at the top of the wrist.
Yeah.
So you'd be touching the top of your hand and arm, not the palm of your hand.
I prefer it on the palm. I think.
Now you say you prefer it on the palm. What?
I don't know. It's more comfortable to write.
Yeah.
It's like. It's like Helen Keller.
So is that to say that you would prefer that the watch is also on the underside of your arm?
Well, it would have to be in order for the sensors to work, or unless they put the sensors on the other side of the band.
Yeah. I don't see why it couldn't be flexible like that.
I think writing on the back of my hand is less natural than writing on the
So I think there's one problem with that. I think with the writing, that would be fine. But with the pulling the icons over, if you do that here, and then you're like, oh, I just opened Facebook. Sorry, I was trying to like get that, you know,
thing. You don't grab things with the top side of your hand.
You would need your finger with the ring on it, though.
Oh, you're right.
So that wouldn't matter.
It's not any touch. You could touch. It's about completing that circuit.
Oh, that's right. You're right. So it wouldn't unless you. I mean, I guess hypothetically, if you touch something that conducts electricity, but then it would still be too far away. So never mind. I just talked myself out of my own problem.
There you go. You figured
it out. The reason why they have it is just because
go.
Watches have always been on that side of your wrist.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's always kind of weird. I agree. I've always worn my watch on the top side of my wrist, but I agree it's way easier to access the inner side of your arms than it is. It's always like this is not.
No, this is way easier.
Yeah,
it's not comfortable. Like I kind of think that's why the smartwatch thing isn't totally 100% catching on right now, is because it's still nobody wants to interface by pulling their hand up in front of them like a screen.
Yeah, but nobody wants to scratch their smartwatch screen on a table when they have their arms down like that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it can easily catch on something.
So
maybe watches inevitably are gonna not make it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like the smartwatches anyways. So I mean, I think this is cool.
Yeah.
But
so now we might get into a thing. Okay, let's just do this. Let's go into Crazy Town for a second.
Okay.
We're gonna get out of here.
I'm ready.
So now you get a thing where it's not even about the watch on the wrist. You just wear a wristband. And you wear your ring, and it's like going to your HoloLens, it's going to your Vive.
Oh yeah.
And then you're just pushing things around in front of your face just by touching your arms that way.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know. I think they should, instead of doing a HoloLens, just having it project right on your forearm.
Yeah. Like there's
So there are some products out there. There's like keyboards that'll project down onto a table and put the whole keyboard out there using lasers.
Yep.
They do need about 4 or 5 inches to get that trajectory correct.
Yeah, that's
no one's going to walk around with a 4 or 5 inch thing sticking out of their wrist.
Well, that's what we need now. Maybe later.
Y'all might be onto something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's that. I think that's the next step.
Even if they could get a few inches, huh, Leslie? Like if they wear it and they could just get a few inches out, you could interface.
Yeah,
sure.
That'd be so convenient.
It'd still be fine.
Okay, well, what's the average size of a smartwatch screen right now? It's maybe an inch by an inch, right?
Yeah, inch and a half.
Inch and a half. If they can get if they can take a wristband and push it onto your skin to the left. Wait, no, are we just doing the same thing though? No, it's just
I don't know.
It's the same screen. It's just to the side now.
Doesn't matter.
I don't.
Well, but you were talking about just doing a band instead of the watch.
Yeah, that just protects.
That way you don't have to worry.
Just doing the ring and the receiver, and then somehow putting that input to a different user interface is what I'm talking about.
Well, I was thinking with what Vee said that you don't want your screen of your watch scratching on everything. Yeah, exactly. So if you get rid of the screen altogether,
so now
that eliminates
and you just have a band
into your forearm.
Yeah.
It doesn't scratch.
And then it's not a big chunky watch. It's a little Fitbit bracelet.
Yeah,
there it is.
Or they project it directly into the contact lenses from Sony.
There we go.
While
you have your tongue piercing is doing VR for you. Yeah, you're doing augmented reality with your tongue.
Fantastic. Well, Vee, if people want to talk to you a little bit more about this Crazy Town watch application.
Crazy Town USA is where I live.
They can find you on Twitter as...
They can find me at bear_Annika. I don't live in Crazy Town.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a.k.a. Crazy Town.
USA.
We're wild.
Krista-Lee, people want to chat with you about things to do with planets and such.
They can tweet me at GamerAnthro.
Fantastic. Leslie, thanks again for just giving me the choke thing, because I know, of course, you don't have a Twitter account. However, thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for taking Jake's place. I'm sure he is...
suffering. He's suffering right now. Yeah. Miserable. So sad.
He'll feel aptly represented here tonight. Mm-hmm. I was gonna say like if people want to get in touch with you, but I think we're
just get in touch with Jake. That's fine.
So hold on.
You can tweet Jake at Critical Owl.
At Critical Owl.
If you
You're
want to
like,
talk to
what?
Leslie.
Well, he could just pass it to his wife, who's a doctor, and then it's fine.
Yeah.
He's got the medical connection.
There it is. This was fun. This was good.
Yeah.
People can tweet the show at Technophiles Pod or find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Facebook, and YouTube by searching Technophiles Podcast, or go to our actual website, technophilespodcast.com. I almost said the again. And that's about it. Everybody can find me on Twitter at RapturePaint. Yes, that's what I just said. Yeah. Rock your body.
Rock
yeah.
your
Body.
David.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week.